of AC/DC. The next number hasn't been recorded, written by the two Young brothers and Bon Scott. It's called Soul Stripper. AC/DC. The next number hasn't been recorded, written by the two Young brothers and Bon Scott. It's called Soul Stripper. AC/DC. The next number hasn't been recorded, written by the two Young brothers and Bon Scott. It's called Soul Stripper. AC/DC. The next number hasn't been recorded, written by the two Young brothers and Bon Scott. It's called Soul Stripper.
live from the broken down, low rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios. It's time for the very first ever Southern.
Well, Jimmy, apparently your microphone is not working, but the music is playing beautifully. Jimmy, we cannot hear you.
Now, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Now, can anybody fucking hear me?
There you go.
Can you hear me? Anybody?
Yeah, you're on YouTube. I can hear you.
All right. What about IBN? Are we over there?
Yep.
Okay. Now what? Now, now just stand by. All right. Stand by 1 second. Do you hear this? Do you hear this still?
You said you called the shots the last time, baby.
Do you hear that?
I hear the dirty pool.
All right. Now, YouTube, did you hear that? Dirty pool.
YouTube can hear it.
All right. What about Rev Radio? Can they hear it?
Yes.
So everybody's live and we can hear everything now.
Yep.
Yeah, we can fucking hear me now. All right. Well,
I'm monitoring.
if I could only express to you the level of fucking frustration with this shit. You know, it's really just you know, it kicks you right in the fucking solar plexus when this kind of shit happens, you know? Because you're leading up to a moment, we're about to go live, and then all of a sudden everything's fucked, you know? And hey, man, you know, F-bombs are flying, and, you know, I mean, I'm trying to hold it down. But I'll just say this, you know, I'm not too stoked on it. Now, was my volume good enough everywhere?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you know, hardware failures at the last minute is always a.
No,
always an
well,
issue.
this started last Sunday morning when I came out to do Wake and Bake,
Yeah.
and I woke up late, and I got out here at like 7 minutes till. I went to log on and get in there, and then all of a sudden, you know, shit wasn't working, and I went through all these changes today. I went and got another board, brought that back, and I was having nothing but fucking problems because I couldn't get the whole thing to route right. And it's just a, you know, whatever. Man, you know what it is? There's a fucking million stories in the Naked City. I mean, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Who cares, man?
Well, the good news is apparently this is a fairly common problem on this board, and all you have to do is open it up and add a resistor, and it goes away.
Yeah, well, check it out. When I buy some shit, I shouldn't have to open it up and add a resistor.
Well,
You know what I mean? But anyway, well, you know, there's a clear solution to this problem, and I just didn't have the means to solutionize the problem tonight because I got to run to stores that, you know, take time to get to. And I mean, like I said, there's a million stories in the Naked City. Who gives a shit? People ain't checking in to see what the fuck's going on with the situation. But I got to say, you know, I'm going to say right now, there was a moment in time when this show changed quite a bit. And that moment was the minute that fucking Skype went south.
yeah.
The minute Skype went out, everything changed. We had nothing but fucking problems with Teams, you know? Nothing but problems, you know, over and
Phone
over.
lines, yeah, the whole bit.
It's almost like it was a, you know.
Even tonight when you called me earlier, right? You said, give me a call back on the thing. As soon as I opened it up, you know, it decided to force an update on me. You know, I had to wait another 10 minutes. It's just.
Why is everything like...
You know, I think part of the problem is the technology itself is getting out of control. Like you know, and you used to buy a soundboard back in the 70s or 80s, or even, you know, guitar pedals or a tube amp or something.
You're super loud, man.
You know, it would last for 10, 15, 20 years. Now this stuff is all like it's all disposable, right? And it's all made as cheap and as quick and as, you know, corporate efficiency as possible. But, you know, they don't care that, you know, they only give you a 90-day warranty on something and it breaks on day 92.
Well, here's the fucking issue, okay? The issue is, why would you ever take out the audio output of your computer? Why would you not have an earphone hole in your computer? Why would you just purposely take it out? It was already there. How much fucking money are you saving by taking out that piece? It's like a penny. It's already fucking there. What is somebody coming? Hey, Bob, you know, come on in. Yeah, we're going to do the presentation now. I got this great idea for the new iMac. Here, look. It's all the same. Except for, we're going to take out this audio jack. Make everything USB in.
I kind of understand it why Apple did it with the phones, because they wanted to start pushing those Bluetooth earbuds, right? The AirPods or whatever. And obviously, if you got no headphone jack, you have no choice but to buy the expensive Bluetooth enabled earphones that go with it. You know, and actually, you know, I'm still running a very old phone. I still have a headphone jack. But I know that the time is coming where that's going to have to go away soon, you know, maybe within the next year or so. And not because there's anything wrong with the phone. It still works perfect, but because the software is no longer capable of being run on the phone. You know, they've upped the minimum requirements on so many things that you know, it's becoming useless as opposed to breaking down.
We didn't have any problems with Skype, man. Ever.
No.
We were working with Skype from the very beginning. So, yeah, AirPods read your brainwaves. Now it's common knowledge. I was saying that shit 2 years ago and people thought I was crazy. I went on Charlie Robinson's show, talked about it. Kriston T. Harris. I did a whole tour.
Yeah, I know.
I did.
And you know what? when I have to get a phone where the headphone jack is gone. I mean, I don't really use headphones on my phone anyway, except maybe when I'm on an airplane. Um, I'll live with it. I'll just,
No, no. See, the thing is it's getting more and more like this. More and more, all it will be, there will just be whatever device you have will only give you access to the internet. You won't have control over any of this shit. Oh, I mean, you'll have to use Bluetooth because that's all you can use.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. When this phone has to get upgraded at some point, like you said, probably in the next year or two at the latest, as things are slowly winding down for it, I'll have to get Bluetooth headphones for it if I want headphones. There's no other choice, right? There's no jack to plug into. They still make a dongle that you can use. So, there is kind of that way around it, but it's just the quality of things too. Even the software, is so unstable now. Just because they get it out the door, get it as fast as possible. They're on a deadline. They want to meet a date. And that's actually to Apple's credit. Like, one thing they're pretty good about is not putting out stuff that's not finished. But even video games, right? I bought a video game about 2 weeks ago. It was $80, and I opened the thing up for the first time, and I got this big message across the screen that won't go away, and it's a bug in the game. Like, why am I paying $80 for a video game that's got freaking bugs in it?
I don't know, man.
Just postpone the release for 2 weeks and fix it.
I just about had it with all of it. It's like a fucking full-time job keeping shit charged and all this. There's a lot of really time-consuming little pieces of every little puzzle that you got to do. You got to jump on, stand on one foot with a hand on top of your head and jump up and down 15 times and spin around, and then get a cell phone call and then type in a 6-digit number, and then go plug in your fucking cell phone and charge it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you've been signed out.
It's the same thing with like equipment, right?
You got to log back in now. Log back in, bro. With your, what? You forgot your password? Oh shit. Now you got to fucking get an email. Oh, go get the email. Now you got to go back and click on that. Go back, create a new password. Oh shit, it's got to be 15 letters with a character and a fucking number and a I mean, people are gonna just what at this point going through all that shit. Wouldn't you just
well, I
submit?
I think that they keep doing that to add to the frustration.
Yeah.
So you finally give in and
lay
use
down.
your biometrics,
Exactly right, brother. You are exactly right, and that's why.
Now you have to have a 33 character alphanumeric. It has to have 4 capital letters and 3 special symbols and 2 numbers, and people are gonna be like, screw it, I'll just use my fingerprint.
Yeah.
Like, it's that much easier. Like, even my phone, right? I just touch the button and it opens up. I don't have to enter code. I just push the button with my one particular finger. And the old systems get pushed out, but they intentionally destroy the old system and make it more and more complicated and more of a hassle, so that you want to migrate to the new system. Not because the new system's better, but because they don't want you using the old one anymore, right? They've got reasons. And it's the same thing with like equipment, right? I mean, I have a guitar amp that I bought probably in 1984. Still works perfect, no problems. Never had a problem with it. I had a tube replaced in it once. The knobs aren't scratchy. The headphone jack doesn't come desoldered. The other thing, I bought an amp a couple of years ago, and the thing's crap. I've had to open the thing up like 3 or 4 times and redo solder joints and rewire things. And why? Why is the 40-year-old product work perfectly, and the 4-year-old product a piece of crap? Because some guy in the corporate said, well, we got, some environmentalists said, well, we can't use lead in the solder anymore. And some corporate guy said, yeah, and we'll use actually as little solder as possible so we can save 3 cents on the production cost and make these wires short and tight so that when, they go through temperature changes, the connections end up flexing and break, because we can't afford the extra pennies worth of copper that we have to put in there. Because we can maximize profits that way, and everything in society is like that now, from cars to musical equipment to computer equipment to
Oh,
everything.
Jesus
like
Christ,
that,
man! I just want to hang myself, man.
Tell me.
I don't want to hear anymore. I can't take it. I think
it's-
I've reached my
frustrating,
level of like, I think I'm full to the brim at this point with everything that's going on, for the most part. I've literally, I think, I've had enough. It's almost time to silence everything. You know what I mean? Just fucking cut it off. That's it. Just chop it off.
Well, I mean, and that's what they want you to do. That's exactly what it is. Throw it away, chop it off, throw it away.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
Go
right
get
now.
another one.
They're processing this video and data from everywhere. These flock cameras, they're all over my town.
Oh yeah, we got them here.
When
too.
I go to work, I see them, and I see how easily it would be when you pull up to facially recognize you and then follow you throughout the city through each of these cams and just jump into the next one. They know you're on, Main Street and you're heading south, and they just keep grabbing the camera that's up in front of you and keep grabbing you and keep following you everywhere you go. It'd be easy to surveil you, and they wouldn't have to, wouldn't even have to put a car behind you. They
No,
can
and
have
they
a
know
car.
who you are and what car you're in, and
Yeah, and they can look right in you. They're actually looking through your window now and seeing if you're using your phone. There was a lady that got pulled over for it, for using her phone, and then the cop
because
says,
she drove past the camera with it in her hand, right?
yeah, except for she didn't have one. She didn't have the hand that they said she was using. She only had one arm. She only had one hand, and that hand was on the wheel. The other hand, she wasn't using her phone with it.
Well, the AI is included to make mistakes.
All right. Well, look, I haven't looked any further. I saw a few hours ago that it said the strait was closed and there was shit going on in Lebanon again already. So it looks like whatever deal there was has come to an end. So I mean, oil dropped down to such and such a price. I don't know what it was, like $70-something. So I mean, I guess everybody jumped in and bought some oil because they knew that shit was not gonna fucking fly. There's no way that was gonna fly, right?
No, I mean, the current narrative is no more endless wars and no this, that, and the other thing. But, there is a way to end it quickly, but it's brutal. And I don't know. My take on it at this point is I don't know. Like, it seemed all right in the beginning. They were going to get their deal done, and it was going to be over in a couple weeks or a month or whatever. Now it's back and forth. It drags on, and
man, this is everything that we said it was on the way
part
to
of a play, right?
This is everything we said it was on the way here, and the reason that this whole thing happened was because of those files. And Bruce is over there. He's
Oh yeah, I see it. I see him on YouTube. All right, Bruce, I'll get you in a second here. But yeah, I mean, we predicted that it wasn't going to be over in 2 weeks, in a month. It's part of the story.
Well, the thing about it is that he made a statement and he said he divulged that he had the knowledge that if this went on, it was going to cause a world depression. So the point is that he knows that what this is going to do, and they knew what it was going to do before they did it, and they did it anyway. And so we're going someplace that we're intended to go, because gasoline is almost our situation here with oil. We're in fucking bad shape right now. And if that would have worked and everything would have been fine and, you know, oil started flowing out of there, I don't even, you know, at that point, would it even matter? It takes a long time for that to reconstruct all that pipeline that's moving around the world. Did you grab Bruce?
I'm working on it.
All right. Yeah, so, you know, there's been quite a bit of stuff going on. Voice of reason. Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes
Well,
Possible.
what's happening, man?
there's our voice of reason.
So we got a bunch of weird audio issues going on, so let's just make sure we can hear you and everything.
Sure.
Everybody on YouTube, can you hear Bruce? Can you hear him? Let us know in the chat. I can hear you. Rio, you can hear him, right?
Yeah,
Righteous.
Okay. What's happening, man? We're just, you know, sort of dipping a toe into this situation with his, with this deal, so-called deal falling through or whatever. But I don't think did we get a chance to talk about the white trash moment at the White House?
Well, okay. So
White trash Sunday. Go ahead.
One thing at a time. So I would say that the deal has not fallen through until the United States acts in a military fashion on behalf of Israel. If Israel starts doing what they're doing, I think Trump's out. So unless Israel has another friend that's going to come and help them, and if the U.S. steps back, then immediately what's going to happen is China and Russia are going to step in, not directly and in a visible way, but they're going to make sure that Iran has everything they need to finish the job, or, you know, make sure that there's no more fight in them, kind of what they did to Gaza. That's a precarious situation. I think Trump's really done with them. And, you know, I also think there's another layer to this that I think is a lot of theater. But tell me about the white trash moment at the White House.
Well,
Did Eric Kirk show up?
No, this UFC fight thing that happened.
Oh,
you know.
Jesus.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was just too much. I mean, you know,
It was
it doesn't really matter. You know, like we keep saying, man, there's a million stories in the naked city, bro. You know,
dude,
but
we're bringing it's the modern variant of ancient Rome.
It is.
It's Matrix Revolutions. We're going through the Roman phase again.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
Maximus.
Yeah, there's no question. We are there. But I mean, you know, the thing about this whole thing is that the same problem persists in the fact that the levels of our oil are going down in the U.S.
Yeah.
And you
2
know,
weeks.
yeah,
2 weeks on the critical reserve or something like that.
yeah, something. And the thing is that he made a statement saying, you know, we made this deal because, you know, if we didn't, it would cause a global world depression. Or whatever. So the thing is, he's saying it right there. In other words, he's been fed information that tells he's been told that this is going to cause a fucking world depression, and he knows that, and he's just throwing it out there like a bone, like it's just he just mentioned it, like he babbled it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so the thing is, I mean, obviously Bruce, Rock and Rio, we all three know at this point. There's nothing that happens that they don't run through some sort of a model before they do it or say it. They know what to say specifically at, you know, whatever junctures with whatever video along with it. I mean, at this point, I would say that we're pretty much, we're malleable in the sense that we've been being beat to death with this fucking information at a rapid scale to where it's almost undecipherable. You know, I mean, even if you're just a guy going to fucking work, back and forth to work every day, trying to make it, trying to buy bread or whatever, man, you're not paying attention to any of this world news shit. You got no idea what's going on. And,
No.
And on some level, I mean, you're probably better off. You know, ignorance is bliss, I guess, Bruce. But I mean, this is I mean, I was praying for a miracle, but I mean, I just don't have a good feeling about this deal. It's not really a deal; it's a memorandum of understanding. And some dude pointed out that in Trump's book, The Art of a Deal, inside of that book, he talks a lot about these real estate things called memorandums of understanding.
Yeah.
And so this dude was saying he had never heard of a memorandum of understanding before. So basically, a memorandum of understanding is that we agree that at some point we're going to negotiate on these certain things, and until then, so on and so forth. But I mean, it really, I don't know. They came back and said if there's any activity between Israel and Lebanon, that was going to be a problem. And so, I mean, immediately what happened? They're over there saying that the deal's no good. They don't like it, and they don't agree to it. And, if they have to go it on their own, they will, so on and so forth. So, I mean, every time we quell any kind of violence, man, it seems like, all someone's got to do is just toss another bomb over somewhere, and then the whole thing starts all over again. So, I mean, are they willing? Yeah. They're willing to just destroy everything at this point, over whatever this is.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that feeling too. I get that sort of hubris is in the air. And, there's a lot of people looking on now that, I mean, this just does not look good at all. On the one hand, I'm glad that Trump has finally, broken ways, I guess. But then there's a whole other level to this going on that I think is more about getting us into some kind of global position, pre-globalization position. So quite some time ago, I think on your show, I said, I think that they're going to go landmass now, because I think it's generally agreed that a nuclear exchange is not going to be allowed, right? And believe it or not, these people can form rules and follow them at the top level. So that means that no conventional war can really be won outside of your landmass, because the issue of transportation, when you're fighting, like Russia makes all its weapons in Russia, right? So it's very hard they don't have to transport them across the Atlantic Ocean to get them to the battlefield. So we're going into this landmass model. And I think the three, it's the triumvirate system, a system of three in leadership. They tried it in Rome, actually. I think it's Xi, I think it's Trump, and I think it's Putin. I think they're throwing Europe to the dogs. I think they're going to make an example out of Europe. I think Europe is going to be that guy in the prison yard who gets made an example of by the head guard, right? Because they're just too stupid for their own good. And they can't help themselves, right? They're just lost. The other big thing that's coming now that the Iran thing is over, and it'll sputter on. Like, Israel will try some shit, but look, they're going to get hammered. I think Trump's just going to let them, okay, you want to do it. And then it's going to reach a nuclear situation, and then other forces are going to step in and shut Israel down. Not through force, but through some means, okay? Anyways, I promise you, when this is all done, the biggest thing on Trump's plate is going to be Canada. Because if I'm right about the landmass model, that means that Canada is part of the American landmass, and this is agreed upon treaty or reformation or regrouping of the pre-globalization plan. And Canada's
yes, this is the North American
Canada will soon be. You wait till you see Trump's got 2 more years in the White House, like almost 3. So you wait and see how the rhetoric on Canada starts to heat up. And I think ultimately it's going to result in the amalgamation of Canada with the United States. Because there's no way Washington can leave this big gaping hole in Canada for China to come in and pollute the American experience. If it's
No,
going to be,
it's going to be the North American Union, man.
yeah,
It's you know, it's pretty much. I mean, at some point, that's the way it's going to end up. But until then, uh, you know, we got a weird situation because no one has control over what's going on with Trump in the war situation.
hmm
So so
yeah,
so I mean, you know, I saw a thing where there was parts of Canada that were going to try to vote to be part of America, that they had enough votes.
Alberta,
Yeah, they had enough votes already to do it, or
yeah,
but they put the brakes on it somehow. Um, I,
yeah,
I don't remember what the exact reason was, but somehow they put the brakes on it.
yeah, yeah.
But
So,
you know,
gonna be-
I don't honestly. I think I don't think you're going to see 2 more years of Donald Trump. I think at some point is going to be a J.D. Vance presidency.
mm,
Because I mean, you know, there's a lot of rumors and talk about what goes on, you know, off camera with the president, you know, and he may exit stage left, you know, for whatever
yeah,
for health reasons. There's a whole beef going on with the lady from Italy and Trump, and I guess apparently she said that he smelled foul, like body odor and shit. She said
what?
the odor was so foul she couldn't even take it. I don't remember the exact quote. I'm paraphrasing. She said he stunk of sweat and shit.
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
When and where?
She said it a while back here. Hold on a second. Hang on. Prime
Oh, is this
Minister, Italy, Trump, smells like shit. See if I get something back here.
Jeez.
Hold on. Oh, you prick. As soon as
maybe didn't have time to take a shower for a day or two.
as soon as I said smelled like shit, all of a sudden it went stupid and started going in circles. Hang on a second.
Well, you know, there's
Here, I'm telling you, man. Here, hang on a second. No, I gotta find this for Bruce. Here, hang on. I'll mute up.
well the you know there's you know people talked about how Hillary smelled too with the stench of sulfur.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, God,
Mock
come on.
Mock Minajad said the same thing about Bush.
Well, you know, when you're fully engulfed in demonic activity, I guess the fire and brimstone scent on your clothing is comes along with the territory.
Foul, man. It's just foul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, maybe Trump's got something going on. You know, they're not going to tell us if he's ill. You know, I mean, they did.
Yeah.
Look how long they denied that Joe Biden was incompetent. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he's sharp as he's ever been. Can't remember his name from half the time, but he's sharp as a nail. You know,
Yeah.
so and they'll tell you Trump's in perfect health, even though he's 100 pounds overweight and sweating all the time. He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. They're saying the video utilized artificially generated audio in Melanian's voice, and the narrative said, hang on, fact check confirmed accusation is entirely fabricated.
There you go. Because
Now,
the people at Snopes are 100% honest. all the
and now
time.
they're saying now there's a thing where Trump said she begged to have a photograph taken with him. I don't know. I've seen that. Dude, I've seen that quote that he smelled like shit a bunch of times, not just from her. So I mean, I obviously I don't know. You know, I never went to look for the source. I never went to the Italian newspaper on the day that she said it to try to find out if she said to try to find out if she said it. But I mean, I've known about it for a long time. And she's
Strawberry Fields, Jimmy.
and she's not the only one either, man. There's a whole
Forever.
it's a whole thing with the golfing incident. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Strange days indeed, man. Strange days indeed.
Now, did you see Vance coming out? And
He spanked BB.
yeah,
Pulled his
that's
pants down and gave him the wooden paddle, like the Masonic initiation gone bad.
yeah. Now, what do
Did he
you
really now?
now? Yeah, now what do you think about that now? Because he's Peter Thiel's boy, right?
Yeah.
So now, why would Peter Thiel give him the green light to go like that, to get like that?
I don't know. I think that part of the overall plan, and I think this is scripted. I think they're gonna regime change Netanyahu, and they're gonna prepare an exit for him. It's gonna be kind of similar to Hitler. I think he's gonna end up in Patagonia or something.
He's going to end
And
up
there'll
with
be-
Thiel down in Argentina, because Thiel just moved
Yeah.
him and his whole family down to
Yeah.
Argentina.
That is the new Zion, man.
Now, listen,
Yeah.
have you heard about this? I'm trying to find it. It's called the Dialogue Group. Have you heard about Peter Thiel's secret society called the Dialogue Group?
I have.
Yeah, just came out. What
I was
recent?
reading about that in the last 36 hours. Yeah.
I think.
Why is this culture, all of this power culture, whether it be tech power, finance power, or military power, why is it all so fucking weird with the sex? We got the Novixium, we got Jeff Epstein, now we got Dialogue. I mean, these little groups must be everywhere. You know what I think it is, Jimmy? I think at a certain point on the success ladder, you get invited into sex magic circles. I think we're looking at like a Crowley type culture here.
Well, Bruce, have you ever read the
No.
not
I
the
don't read
Torah,
it.
but what's the other
Talmud.
the Talmud? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand that there are certain exceptions for children in the Talmud, right?
I am aware of that.
All right, man.
Well, that's probably what part of it is. It's it's the magic.
Okay, man. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because they are the preeminent public-facing ritual magicians in the world. Habad's at the top, and they wouldn't even be insulted if you said that to them. It's a ritual magic system. Okay, all Western religion is rooted in ritual magic. That's why it's all ritual. Well, actually, you know what? Islam kind of ends the whole ritual thing. It's very interesting what Islam does. But Christianity and Judaism, it's all rituals. There hasn't even been a Jewish religion since the temple was destroyed. They can't do their rituals anymore. Synagogue Judaism is postmodern Judaism. It's not the real thing. They want to bring the real thing back. I'll tell you that for nothing. I've been saying that for 5-6 years now. They want to bring the temple back, but I think the whole thing's on the skids now. I think it's all over.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole story going on. It has nothing to do with what we've been told. So, I mean, yeah, Ukraine and Israel and, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, the thing is I mean, the way they say it, the way their mentality is, they're prepared to destroy everything in order to make their thing happen.
I think that's going to get cleaned up pretty soon.
The
Jimmy,
thing
as
is
well.
how the thing is here's they are these covert groups are so intertwined with every single thing that's going on in the United States that
Yeah.
there's no way that anybody's gonna sneak some shit or try to, go in there and stop some thing from happening. And if they're just fucking milliseconds away from the Samson option at any given moment,
If that's even real,
yeah, I know. I wonder about the same thing. I wonder
Yeah.
the same thing. And the thing is, I
I
mean, what
think
is?
I think if it was real, a significant country would have done a raid on an Israeli embassy under a federal warrant that supersedes the diplomatic immunity of an embassy and shown it to the whole world,
Mm,
right? Somebody would have figured it out. I mean, that's why some of this stuff is just, ridiculous. It's so far gone, but you know, so I don't think Samson is real. I just, I actually, where I'm at these days is I just hope that Jewish culture gets through this, man. Because look, I don't want to see anything ugly happen. And there's a lot of ugliness already. October 7th, Gaza, but I don't want to see these people get wiped out. And 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 sometimes I think I feel that more strongly than they do. They seem kind of suicidal at times. I don't know what it is, but they're on thin ice now, and they're going through this emperor has no clothes syndrome where they can't see themselves. They do not see, and that's always bad. They do not see the way the world sees them now, and they will not stop arguing. Their rights, God gave them, no international law. We're above it. People are getting real fed up, man. I mean, you want to talk about that model of the warden making an example out of somebody? It could be Israel, man, because they got no friends after the US. And I think Trump is pretty serious. And they're not doing themselves any good with the follow-up rhetoric, even domestic Jewish American voices. Ben Shapiro's not helping the issue. Mark Levin's not helping the issue, right? And this is what we're seeing now is there's no restraint, there's no brakes, there's no backup plan, there's no reason left in the Jewish culture. And the reason is it's really being led religiously now. Schneerson told Bibi he'd be the prime minister to bring in the Mashiach in the temple or begin the process that would commence the concrete timeline to bring it in. Okay. He would get the chess piece moved. I think Bibi took that to heart. I think he sees it as a kind of counterbalancing to all the evil shit he does. Right. And I think, and when you look at how far gone his cabinet is, he's a moderate in that party. He's not even one of the lunatics. And look at him, right? And then
let's move
again,
on,
do the
dude.
one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Move on.
Yeah, because this shit has been beat to death, man.
Oh,
And
no, not really.
well, I mean, it is though. I mean, well, for me it is anyways. I don't know, how, what your input is as far as the overall tone and language of people, just in general, in the alternative media doing broadcasts. There's lots of people that are talking about this subject now all of a sudden because it seems like, it's okay to talk about it now all of a sudden. Whereas
Yeah.
in before it wasn't so okay to talk about it. And even then, we were talking about it here with you and other people. But I mean, just
Yeah.
overall, the thing is that there's two main words going on right now in the lexicon: Trump and Israel. And so everybody's lives are revolving around these two things. It's like
Mhm.
you could get in a conversation with somebody, and see how long it actually takes before Trump comes up or Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
this for me, I'm just saying this is from my observation. Okay, just not talking about the deep subject matter that you were just getting into. I'm just saying overall, for me, the lexicon of understanding and what's going on in the alternative media. There was a fucking moment. There was a moment, okay, and this moment happened on the Alex Jones show when Kanye West showed up with a stocking over his face, and he brought this other dude with him, and now his name is I'm missing his name right now.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy? The other kid that he brought with him is like a conservative talk show host. one of his subject matters was Israel. And so
Is it
once
Nick Fuentes?
exactly, Nick Fuentes. So Nick Fuentes and Kanye West showed up on the Alex Jones show. Kanye West then went into this whole thing about the Jews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nick Fuentes was there, and then he sprung board off of that conversation. I never heard of him before that thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but then all of a sudden I heard of him. Then that was his subject matter. All of a sudden he gained all this popularity and all this stuff, and he was big and getting a bigger and bigger audience, right? And so here was the thing for me, Bruce. Let me run this by you. For me, that might have been, that whole thing was an operation because they made it seem like now it's okay because they're talking about it. But really, did that really just make other people that wanted to say those things but never did to all of a sudden come out and just be freely exposing whatever they thought they were exposing by saying that stuff and then showing themselves? Yeah. You know what I mean? Showing themselves for the future? Because, I mean, Rock and Rio.
Yeah.
What did that thing say in the NDAA about this specific thing? Like, isn't this right here? Isn't this this conversations we're having tonight, right now? Isn't this considered domestic terrorism?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, if you, what was it? It was about speaking out against the concepts, right? I think was the term that they used. The concepts of the,
Yeah, I forget what it
of
was.
Government unity. So it's not even that you're picking a person. You're speaking out against it in general. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it was a very broad.
The thing is Bruce has never been hateful in any way towards the tribe, and so the thing is Bruce has a lot of people from the tribe that listen in because he's fair and balanced in his discussion. He's not trying to find, he's not pointing fingers or calling blame to anybody. He's just talking about the way the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel the same way. I don't hate anyone individually or have any problem with people.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's two dogs in this fight, right? There are elements of the Arabic world that want Israel destroyed. That's a reality, and and they've been living under that stress for decades now. There's absolutely, no doubt about it. But, but there's two sides to the story, but I see them as the agent most capable of bringing peace. And I think that the failure of the peace process is largely on them because they're the stronger party, right? So if they're not really truly interested in peace and a two-state solution, and I don't think they are, which is why Yitzhak Rabin got assassinated in whenever it was, the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
That was the turning point right there. And, I'll bet you if you could get in a time machine and find a 30-something-year-old Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv in the week after that assassination, having coffee with buddies and speaking Hebrew, I'll bet you they were just happy as could be.
Well, he was over there. He was, and I mean, I think in that age frame that he was in, he was buddies with Jared Kushner's father, and he used to come stay at his house, and he would sleep in Jared Kushner's bed. Jared Kushner had to go sleep down in the basement. So man, it's a funny connected world. Yeah. So Chicago Bruce saying because of that dude had a thing pulled down over his face that it wasn't Kanye West, but you know what? Kanye West went to New York and sat with a rabbi and asked for forgiveness and said he lost his mind and he was having mental issues. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't an AI video. And the other thing is too, the Nick Fuentes guy, for some reason he used that as a bell to ring, and then he got off that subject. You notice he's gone and he's even gotten to the point now where he's almost, I think he said a few times that you know, people should vote Democrat to get away from this MAGA thing. So, you know, it's an interesting scenario that you see. Like I said, I don't know if anybody else you know, heard of him before that original, and because I think he even got to sit with Trump, didn't he? Didn't he go to Trump's?
I don't know. I don't listen to Nick. I've heard short clips from Fuentes. I'm
Yeah.
not really what you'd call a fan.
Yeah,
You know,
me neither.
I do find it kind of hateful. You know, but at this, look, here it is in a nutshell. We live on this little blue spaceship spinning through space. We all have to get along, and it's like, you know, don't stand up in the canoe. And it seems to be the same person standing up in the canoe every time, risking tipping the canoe. At some point, you're going to notice, hey, man, it's always the same guy risking the canoe being tipped. And I think that's what the world is taking note of now. And yeah, but it's a super weird time, man. You're going to see a lot of weird shit in the next few years. You're going to see most of the European Jews will leave, but I don't think they're all going to Israel. I think Israel it's too dangerous. Half of Israel would be vacated now if Netanyahu hadn't shut down travel. He's literally trapped his own people in the country. They want to leave, a lot of them. And so the European ones are going to go either to Patagonia or to the United States. There's going to be a reshuffling of the world. And anyways, I think that all of this stuff got settled. The Middle East stuff is settled. I mean, Iran is like the dominant power in that region now. I mean, you can't look at this any other way. The United States lost that war insofar as they couldn't achieve their objectives. They lost the war economically and strategically. And there's no way to win. Once those Iranians dig in and hold the Strait of Hormuz,
No.
they can't be beaten.
We were just saying
Right.
this. We were just saying this last week. It's called the Persian Gulf, man.
Yeah.
It's the Persian
Yeah.
Gulf.
Yeah. So you're not gonna move them off that.
No, man.
You
There's
know?
not going to be any. There's not going to be any ground invasion or any of that, man.
No.
No, it's just not going to happen. All right, listen. We're almost out of time over here. I'm going to go join Ground Zero Plus. Are you going to stick around?
No, I got a boot, man.
All right,
Just
man.
wanted to come on and say hello.
Right on. Well, hey.
Be well, guys.
Hey, stop by tomorrow for a more casual conversation. Tomorrow.
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Be well.
Right on. See it. There he goes. Bruce McDonald. You can find him on Amazon. MAC. McDonald. All right, listen. We got to get out. Revolution Radio. We'll be right back. Everybody else,
I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down. Yes, I'm going down.
It's Friday night.
I hear the wolf owl honey sniffing around your door. In the still of the night, I feel my heart beating heavy, telling me you gotta have more.
It's Ground Zero Plus.
I see the form of lies telling me what's in store. My heart started aching, my body started shaking, and I can't take no more.
It's another microcosm. Hour number 2. Seven 417-8284 is the number to call. Rock and Rio, are you there?
I am.
I hear you. White Snake. Still of the night. It's Ground Zero Plus. We're about to be joined by Revolution Radio. Alright, well, listen. We'll open up these phones, Rock and Rio?
Yep.
Sweet. Alright, 717-417-8284. That's the number to call. Hey, I heard rumors that Clyde was on tonight. Was Clyde live tonight? Let us know in the chat if Clyde was live. Seven 417-8284 is the number to call. That sounds good over here. You know what, Rio? Because I can. That's why. You're asking yourself why. That's why. Alright. It's hard to say goodbye to them, but there they go. I wonder if they still jump around like that. You know, like they wake up in the morning, go get their coffee, just jumping around, banging their heads, hair is flying everywhere. But somehow they don't spill a drop. That coffee, rock and real. That's talent. Are you still there?
Yes, I am here.
Are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. Well, listen. So now, Epic Journeyman called in sick. He said he's got the sniffles, and seems like there's shit going around everywhere. I mean, last week you weren't feeling too good.
Yeah. Well,
Are you?
I think I'm on the upswing now, but
Now? Do you want to talk about it
yeah, we
and
can
tell
talk
people?
about
I mean, because it's I don't know. It's up to you, but
it. So last week, I mean, excuse me. Last week, everybody noticed I was kind of just kicking back and being very quiet because I had a very bad headache and a stiff neck. And turns out that it was the beginning of shingles. So
now back up now a second. Now, so all of a sudden you just had a stiff neck. I mean, you got no
Yeah.
reason to think shingle. You just thinking,
no,
fuck.
I was thinking, I pulled something at work or I moved
Yeah.
the wrong way. I'm hanging under dashboards all the time, crawling
Right.
under cars, whatever. I figure, I must have moved the wrong way. I'm a little
Yeah.
stiff. So it progressed, and got to the point about 2 or 3 days later where it was like at migraine level headache. And it was actually Friday night. And, I had a little thing on my head and I thought maybe it was a tick bite or a spider bite or something. Didn't stress over it too much. It was one little spot, maybe it was a pimple or something, didn't really think to put the two together. But by Saturday, I started having like spasms in my neck. I had an earache, and I started having this rash develop on my head.
What the fuck?
So I'm now, now I'm a little worried, right? And it's Sunday morning, and I'm kind of sleuthing around on the internet to see, what this combination of symptoms is, because like I'm still thinking spider bite or tick bite or something like that.
Did you ask ChatGPT or one of these AIs?
I did.
All right.
Well, no, I didn't ask ChatGPT. I didn't,
You asked one of them.
I did Google search kind of thing,
So you got a general AI answer.
Right. So it told me,
Man, just admit it if it diagnosed you, man. Just say so.
it didn't actually. It told me it's most likely bacterial meningitis,
Okay.
which can actually be quite serious.
Right.
So
So when you went in to see your doctor, did you say it might be meningitis?
I said, well, well, I told him, I gave him the whole thing about the timeline and the rash that was developing, and he kind of fumbled around, dug through my hair a little bit until he saw it. And he goes, "Oh no, that's shingles."
Oh fuck.
So it's weird because, I know it's torturous for a lot of people. I actually know somebody who had it in their groin, and could not walk for a week because of it. And my aunt had also developed it, and she ended up having it for well over 2 years. And it actually almost blinded her in one eye. So I kind of consider myself lucky that the worst of it was the neck pain and the earache and the headache. The rash itself, for me, isn't really that bad. I mean, I don't have the headphones on top of my head right now and over my one ear because that hurts a little bit, but
You're loud.
it's not the rash part of it is actually quite tolerable. The other part of it was a lot worse, and hopefully it goes away soon. That's all I can say.
Martin in the chat. Martin Taylor said Jeff Beck died from meningitis.
Yeah, well, it can be. Yeah, definitely can be fatal because it causes brain swelling.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. It just came to me right now. I just got a message from the universe
Uh-huh.
to tell everybody to go get yourself a copy of a book This book is called, I don't know who wrote it. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the title of it. Go get this book. You need to have the physical book in your possession. All right, ready? It's called Back to Eden. Back to Eden. Get yourself a copy of that book. All right. I don't know why it all of a sudden came to me, but I'm just telling you.
Hmm.
Get yourself a copy.
And what is in the book that?
If you have that book,
Mm-hmm.
you have a chance, man.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just saying, if you didn't have anything else but that book, you might be able to make it. You know that
Like,
and a road atlas. What's that?
I said we have a call coming in.
Oh, we do. Do you have to go through a bunch of changes? Because I got one of those phone numbers last Saturday because you wasn't here.
Oh, yeah. No.
So
I don't
now-
have to go through.
So people are saying that anybody who danced with Michelle Pfeiffer, they had a harder or an easier. The shingles situation was coming up on people.
Well, yeah. So what it is
You're loud, man.
I'll back up a little bit here.
Yeah.
What it is if you had chicken pox as a kid, the virus that causes chicken pox goes dormant and it stores in your nerve bundles in your spine.
Fuck that.
And an injury or stress or whatever, or maybe just for whatever no good reason at all,
Stress.
it decides to wake up, and it's directly related to where it's in your body. So for me, he said it was probably like around C2 or C3 in my spine, right up near the base of my neck, which is why it affected my neck and side of my head. And it's that for a lot of people. You'll get it on your face or whatever. If it's lower in your back, you'll get it on your back or your chest, or if it's way down low on your spine, you'll get it on your legs, and it depends on where it's hiding, basically, as to what area of your body gets affected. So
Now, what do? You take something for it?
yes, it's valcyclovir is the pill they gave me. There's a couple different medications, but I won't give you the commercial brand name, but that's the valcyclovir is the name of the medication. And I mean, I don't know how effective it is or what, but
Hey, Metal.
it seems to be starting to end.
Metal GT's got to go back to work. Get back to work, man. That shit isn't gonna do itself, Don't be lagging around listening to the show. Throw in an earbud or something. No, I'm just fucking with you, Metal GT.
So if you've had chicken pox, you're at risk.
How do you know if you had chicken pox? You remember it?
Well, if you're over 50 at this point, you probably had it because your mom made you go to a chicken pox party when you were a kid. If you were born after the 90s, or so if you're 35 or under,
Damn.
you've probably been vaccinated for it.
Oya Destroyer just threw
look at
down
that.
100 bones, man. Whew. Damn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Whew. Whew. Damn, I need to take a swig of my coffee. Thanks. A million. Oya Destroyer.
So it's not pleasant, but it's I guess like I said, other people have probably had it worse than I actually have as far as the rash goes. So I guess I'm kind of lucky in that respect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. My mom got that a couple years ago. Something happened. She was on a ladder and she fell off and bashed her skull.
Ooh.
And then she got the shingles after that.
Mm-hmm.
And she just had this ongoing thing where she had this weird feeling on the side of her head, where it was. Like it was like yours. It was going down her head like that.
Yeah, and did it scab over and whatever?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty brutal, but it's not insufferable. Like I said, for me, the neck ache and the earache was much worse than the rash part of it is. But I mean, the half of my head is kind of crusty right now. It's sensitive to touch, and yeah.
Well,
But it's not terrible, at least for me, at that part of it anyway. Yeah, stinging nettle. I know that's actually a good thing for it, but we do have a caller.
all right. Well, okay. Hang on a second. I just saw Grandma's over there. Hang on a second. All right. Yeah. Bring the caller on. I'll just go.
How you doing, Rick?
Hey, Rick. What's happening?
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Hi.
What's good?
Hi, Jimmy, and I think I'm on the line with Rock and Rio as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's happening?
Good to hear you guys live again.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm from 1952, and I had the chicken pox, and I think I probably had the mumps, and we ate ginger ale and ice cream, and we got to be off school for a few days. And
Did you?
And I don't remember any of my schoolmates dying from chicken pox or the mumps. We
Did
probably
you
would have
get-
heard about it in our class.
Did you?
Teacher would have probably brought it up. And also, I don't remember anybody dying from eating a peanut butter sandwich, actually. So what gives? Like, what goes on? What happened from the 50s to
They
now?
s-
where,
they started-
I'm not denying that people have
They s-
peanut butter allergies, or that their mumps or the measles can sometimes have serious consequences. But back then, I don't recall hearing about large numbers of my classmates or anybody dying from chickenpox, mumps, or peanut allergies. So I thought I'd mention that.
Well, they started using peanuts in these vaccines. They started using some aspect of a peanut in there, and that's why that generation of children, when it started with that regimen, that generation started having the allergies to peanuts. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you get the polio vaccine?
That's a good question. I don't know. My dad actually was one of the few people in his area of the town where I live, Ottawa, the great home of Bruce MacDonald, by the way. He was quarantined because he did get infantile paralysis, polio, and they had a sign on the door of his parents' home where he lived that there was a quarantine going on, and he got that. But I know the story of polio.
Well,
It's got some questionable.
the reason I'm
aspects
asking
to
is because that generation of children, who got that polio vaccine, there was seemed to be a higher tendency of some sort of cancer popping up later on.
Oh yeah, not only that, but if you look at the newspapers of the time when the polio vaccine first came out, there were large numbers of deaths and injuries, and people were questioning the whole thing about the vaccine. And anyway, that's a whole
Yeah,
area
something tells me
of discussion.
something tells
I know
me
I got
yeah.
the polio
we bet-
vaccine when I was a kid.
something tells me we better veer off from this particular subject and using these
Yeah.
buzzwords that we're using instead of using the lingo we got to use on here to not get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think
literally,
it's
I
exactly
literally got a strike on my YouTube channel one day when a listener called up and was talking about a specific device that you could use for healing, and he wasn't even. I mean, he wasn't. It wasn't an infomercial. It wasn't, and nobody was. He was just talking about it, but just anything that infers any kind of health advice or any of this. Immediately there's some flags that go up over here, so what else is going on besides that particular thing? No. Where are you specifically, if you don't mind saying?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm in Ottawa, the home of the great Bruce MacDonald. It's too bad that Bruce doesn't stay on for the call-in section, because I'd love to pick his brain over a few things. I agree with him on many things, but I disagree with him on a few other things. He mentioned earlier about how Western religion, I don't want to misquote him, that's why it would be nice to have him on the line. Western religion is a continuation of ritualistic magic or something like that. Again, I might be misquoting him slightly. I beg to differ with him on that. I mean, there is ritual. A good Newfoundland priest that married my wife and I once gave a good sermon that I heard. He talked about ritual and how ritual, even in things like gang initiation and even things like people that get into, you know, black magic and Satanism, is actually a reflection of human nature, that we need a certain amount of ritual in our lives, and it's actually a yearning in the human soul for something real. And that's why I returned to the practice of my Catholic faith. I realized, you know, the traditional Catholic faith, you know, now this is, you know, is actually a continuation of many of the Jewish rituals that took place in the temple and the synagogues, and it actually reflects something real, something not made up, something not weird or something to do with sex magic or something like that. It's actually a yearning in the human psyche or the human soul, and it's actually a good thing. So I would love to pick his brain on that one time. The other thing is, you know, we all are subject to our own thoughts and beliefs and stuff like that, and we have to sort out in our lifetime, and sometimes it does take a whole lifetime before we realize, okay, well, how much of this is me getting misinformation or getting, you know, weird ideas, and how much of this is based on something real. So I'm very aware of that. Again, it would be nice to pick, again, Bruce's brain, and you guys may have some ideas on this as well. You know, like, you know.
Yeah, we're covered. Yeah, you have any ideas over there, Ria? What are you doing over there? You just twiddling your thumbs?
Yeah.
Maybe we should get Bruce on here and ask him what we should do.
I think Bruce has exited for the evening.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah,
I was being sarcastic.
One further thing, the whole Michelle Pfeiffer thing, I was placed on, quotes, leave of absence without pay from my employer. My union, the government, and my employer all decided that it was a good idea for me because I didn't want to sign on to agreeing that I should take it, the Michelle Pfeiffer. So I had to survive for 8 months, almost 8 months, with a family of 5 still at home, 6 children, but 5 of them still at home, and my wife, with a small pension income as well as but not having any employment income. And I learned a lot of lessons through that. And one of them is, yeah, there's something going on.
Obviously.
There's something going on where they're trying to basically control our every thought, word, and action. And I went to certain protests leading up to the Canadian trucker protest, and I did attend the Canadian trucker protest, and not to magnify that out of proportion, but that was huge. That was a big thing, and that's why the Canadian government and the globalists and whoever's, you know, the Zionists who are trying to control us are so bent on their system of control. They do not want you to go against them at all. I learned that lesson the hard way, but it was a good lesson to learn in the long run. And thank you guys, because you guys were some of the people, you know, Revolution Radio, and you got you, Jimmy, and Clyde Lewis and other people. You guys helped me through that, actually, because I realized I wasn't alone. I wasn't insane. I wasn't wrong for thinking that there's something going on here that's not quite right.
Yeah, well, listen, tomorrow night, if you want to stop by at 8 o'clock Pacific, Bruce will be stopping by tomorrow. You can give us a call then if you want to talk to him, see what he's up to, or, you know, ask him some questions or whatever.
You guys are going to be live then tomorrow night at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, 8 o'clock. We're just not live on Rev Radio on Saturday nights. We're only on Friday night. Yeah. But we'll be on YouTube. Yeah, we'll be on YouTube and Ground Zero Plus.
What platform? Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give that a try.
Right on. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. 717-417-8284. That's the number to call. Let's see.
I'm passing sleeping cities, fading by degrees, not believing all I see to be so. I'm flying over backyards, country homes and ranches, watching life between the branches below. And it's hard to say who you are these days, but you run on anyway, don't you, baby? You keep running for another place to find that saving grace.
I don't know, man.
I'm moving on alone over ground that no one
My meters ain't right over there on IBN.
had atoned for my sins. There's a guard on every door and a drink on every floor.
Alright, well, we'll see. The hard part is Ground Zero Plus is coming on IBN, coming off IBN. And so if IBN's volume is low, then it's low on Ground Zero Plus too. Well, we'll see, I guess. I mean, it looks okay over here on YouTube, Ruggaroo.
Yeah, YouTube is fine.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't seen any reports of problems on Ground Zero, so.
Alright, well, that's good. That's good. Alright, well, it looks like we're over there on the charts, number 6 and number 10. Or number 6 and number 8 or something. Let me look. Yeah, number 6 and number 8. And then Rev Radio, for some reason. Rev Radio is up there. It's number 10. But if you click on it, there's a red thing that says you can't listen to it. So what I'm just asking the question. I'm asking the question. If you can't listen to it on there, then how is it in the top 10? No one's listening to it. If it's impossible to click on the Revolution Radio, go on there and click on the stream, there's nothing there. There's a red warning thing, like a little triangle warning, you know.
Who knows? Maybe their software monitors, multiple aspects more than just their own stream of it.
Ground Zero is a different show. Yeah, so maybe I think I don't know why that would mean, what that would mean at this point. But Chris is saying, not Chris for UK, but Chris is saying he thinks it's a different show on Ground Zero. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know at this point. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. And that's on which stream? The one with the Clyde Lewis face or the dark black Ground Zero plus thing? I don't know.
Let me check here.
I'm not sure. There's something going on out there. See, I knew it.
Always something.
I knew it. I knew something else was going to happen. See? Man, I can't help it. I don't know what's going on. We're definitely on. The stream is on IBN.
Let's see.
So I don't know. Maybe you should here. I can't check into it and be on the air.
That's what I'm doing now, but I have to wait for it to send me a password now. I know this is all this security crap.
Yeah, well, I'm going over to TalkStream Live and clicking on that bitch. Someone's sending us some messages.
I forgot that. I watched it one time.
Yeah, Ground Zero Plus is a rerun because I hear Epic Journeyman on there. Yep. So let me see. Let me go over to the Clyde Lewis logo. See what's going on over there. Man, this is the fun part of. Yeah, no, totally different show.
Well, it says live broadcasting, Jimmy Jean connected, and
yeah, I'm just telling you, over on Ground Zero Plus and And the Clyde Lewis logo is the same show is playing, but it's not us live right now live.
Oh, you are live on IBN.
Yeah, I know. I can see it.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to it, and it is the current show. So,
Rev Radio is good. Yep. So we're good on Rev Radio, and we're good over here on YouTube. So there it is. I'm not in the Ground Zero.
must be on the Ground Zero's end then.
Yeah, I'm not on Ground Zero's chat, so I don't know what the hell they're saying over there. I can't be everywhere all at once, you know. I try, but, you know. That's the thing, you know. When you got to do everything yourself, and then you get pissed because you got to do everything yourself. You know what I mean? All right. Well, listen. What does it all mean? I don't know. Are we still having audio issues, or are those done?
I think we're okay.
No distortions. No over. Because I'm telling you right now,
YouTube sounds fine.
the mic volumes over here on IBN, I'm louder than shit, it looks like. And when you're talking, you're like negative 24 dB. And when I'm talking, I'm going in the red. And you don't want to rev a race car when it's in the red. Maybe I should back off a little bit. Maybe back away from the microphone. There we go. Now I'm more in line with your volume. We've gone off the deep end. Escape from Blue Jersey. What's happening? See Rusty saying you're quiet.
You were saying I was too loud.
Well, for me, you were. That's what I mean. This whole thing is all, you know, we kind of band-aided it together tonight just to make it through. But, you know, seems like our efforts are falling on deaf ears. Literally. Except for Rev Radio over there.
Yeah, I don't know what's up at Ground Zero, but it is a different show.
Yeah, no question. Where's Chris? He's probably sleeping. I don't know, man.
He's not in the Ground Zero chat.
No, he's sleeping.
Funny. The man has jokes.
He's funny. Okay.
My Uber is 6 minutes.
What the fuck is this, man? We've gone off the deep end, dude. What time is it? 10:33. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. So. There's sarcasm issues. We got sarcasm going on. Man, the thing is how could you not be sarcastic after all? I mean, we've been fighting an uphill battle all night, haven't we?
I'm telling you.
Seriously.
It's the way it goes, man, you know.
And the thing is you don't even realize what I was going through before we joined you here at 9 Pacific. Because for 3 hours after I got off of work, I was trying to make this other soundboard work. And I couldn't get the mixing paths to come back to the computer. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with those kind of problems before. But it's the kind of shit where you got to keep doing shit over and over again and changing this and changing that and going here and going there and opening this window and closing that and fucking doing this, rebooting your computer and turning it off and turning it on. And like more mouse work, so on, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I didn't even get to have a decent cup of coffee. By the time I reached down for my coffee cup, this shit was ice cold. It was iced coffee at that point. But who cares? This is a million stories in the naked city.
Earlier, you know, the wonders of modern technology. Some of it's amazing. Some of it's nothing but a pain in the butt.
I'm just saying, man, who cares? There's a million stories in the naked city. Nobody cares.
That's why I do everything analog, man.
I'm just saying, nobody gives a shit. Why you had a problem, you know? Now, can you hear that?
Yes.
Is it distorted?
No, it sounds fine. Shadow people.
All right, well, take a listen to it over on IBN real quick, and let me see what you think there. Because I'm telling you right now, the volume, the meters are low on IBN.
Shadow people.
717-417-8284.
In the car next to you. When the light turns red. Could be thinking of love. Might be thinking of hate. I guess it pretty much could go either way. Shadow people in Shadowland. That one's thinking of great art.
All right. There he goes. How did it sound over there?
Terrible, but that's okay.
It sounded terrible. Well, it's
We'll
good.
figure it out.
It's not going out over the air anywhere except for there, because they hook up to it, and when it goes live, it's supposed to go live over there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 717-417-8284. I just won't play any more music. You know, I don't know how it's sounding on Rev Radio, but he can't play music on Rev Radio anyway. So, all right.
We'll play old songs.
Yeah, no, I just mean, you know, beyond a certain point, you know, beyond a certain amount of legal time. Beyond that, you can't. It's not like on Saturday night we could sit there and play like a whole song. If you were gonna. I don't think I ever play a whole song ever. There's certain songs I play on this show that I've never even heard them past the point where I play them to. Like sometimes when I'm getting ready for the show and I'm thinking I'm going to play that song, I'll listen to it and I'll listen to the whole thing like past the point that I normally play it at. And I'm like, damn. You know, this is better than I remember. Alright. Who the hell knows? I thought I saw Sergeant Miller in there earlier.
Yeah, I've seen him in the chat.
Chris is messaging us saying we're all good over there now. Over on GZP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
Alright. Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you're tuned in, now you're about to go live because we're live now. So we don't want to rattle your cage, but it's good to see everybody over here on GZP. Go ahead.
Hopefully Chris is piping in the YouTube video because it's much better sound quality.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do that. There's, like I said, I don't know what I can do.
Nothing at this point.
Really, there isn't anything I can do. I've done it, you know, I've done the best I can in trying to alleviate the situations. See if that works. See if that does anything over on IBN. I'm making adjustments. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. We're giving you the play-by-play right now while we're trying to adjust the situation. See what's going on over there at IBN. How that's sounding now. And here, I'll throw this in real quick. Just see, this shit ain't even registering.
All right, let me grab Sarge here.
Food stored away for the war that is coming on that judgment day. Shadow people in Shadowland.
All right. I don't know. That might have fixed something. Maybe not. I can't tell without listening to it myself. Are you there, Rockabilly?
Yeah, I'm here.
You got Sergeant Miller?
Joined us, yes.
Oh, there he is. All right. Hey, Sergeant Miller, what's happening?
All right, mic check. Mic check 1 2.
Hey, what's going on, Sergeant Miller?
Yeah, everything all right. How's y'all gentlemen doing?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing good. How you doing? Are you off work or you have to work tonight?
Oh no, I'm on the clock.
Oh yeah.
Just smooth sailing.
Nice. Where are you heading to?
Port Allen, Plaquemine, Morgan City.
Damn.
Got a little tropical depression that hit, the Gulf Coast of Texas, Beaumont, and it's gonna pass through Louisiana. So just dealing with that.
Well, be careful, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I've been in Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't nothing.
Hey, well, so what's on your mind tonight, Sergeant Miller?
Oh well, your caller from Ottawa. He said something real important of how, places like, your show, Clyde Lewis website, Revolution Radio, RBN. He didn't feel alone, going through these psychological operations, we all go through. So, I wanted to reiterate that, this is one of the reasons we do this, is to communicate with each other, with freedom of speech. Because that's our biggest weapon against all of these, all of these cults and these psyops is the ability to communicate towards each other to see what's going on,
Yeah, and I mean, there seems to be quite a bit of dialogue steering that goes on with the overall mesh of subjects that are out there for discussion. It's like the same. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but have you noticed that the word deep state has basically disappeared? Like, it used to be every other word was deep state this, deep state that, the deep state, the fucking deep state. I haven't heard anybody say the deep state in like 6 months. What happened to the deep state? Did it disappear? Or did people just stop talking about it?
Well, it always been the CIA.
I'm just saying, do you remember that? Do you remember when that all of a sudden cropped up? It was in the lexicon. People started saying the deep state.
Yeah.
And then they started saying it on the mainstream news. They started just openly calling it something the deep state. And then I started wondering, well, if there was a such thing as the deep state, why would the American people sit around and let that happen? Wouldn't they want to get rooted out and get rid of it? But no, nobody did anything, and just people said the deep state this, the deep state, anything that fucking happened, they blamed it on the deep state because there's nobody to actually point a finger at. Oh, what happened? Stubbed my fucking toe in the backyard, man. The lights are out. Must have been the deep state, dude. Fucking deep state. But now all of a sudden there is no deep state. The deep state is turned into these other rag dolls that people are shaking. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what happens is there's a term that gets used, then they drop it and suddenly like oversaturate the use of it until it kind of burns out and goes away.
Yeah, like optics.
Yeah.
Here, there's one right there. Optics. Everybody goes, well, look at the optics. What the fuck is everybody all of a sudden optics? You know what the other one was? Here's the one that I thought was really funny. Fucking Larry Fink is sitting there and he's having a conversation about the future. And he starts calling it compute. He said the word compute in reference to computers and AI and data centers or whatever. He referenced the word compute, and ever since then, every single fucking person I've heard on the air talking about shit is saying compute now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Compute.
well, we talk about that in this alternative world, the Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah. Yeah, echo chamber,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I'm just saying, I just want to point that out, that people are calling it compute, and I just, noticed it now. You'll hear everybody saying it.
Well, Amber says like the word narcissist too. That started becoming a real popular word.
Yeah.
Because Trump's a narcissist. So that that was the thing for how long, and that word actually seems like it's fizzling out now too. It's almost like you heard it so many times that you start avoiding using it.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know what I just happen to notice it because it used to be the boogeyman that got blamed for every single thing that happened. You couldn't point a finger at it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe deep state disappeared from the lexicon when the Epstein files came out. Maybe it was right around the same time.
There you go.
Maybe
There
that
goes your deep state.
Maybe that was the fucking deep state. You know what I'm saying?
Flippy says, Danger Will Robinson, it does not compute.
Sergeant Miller, here's what I'm saying. Maybe that was the deep state, dude. Seriously.
Well, it was deep something. I don't know if that was the state or not. But
yeah. Who knows? That's the thing, is there's like, over the years in the alternative media, there's been certain subject matters that are persistent, There's like the Federal Reserve and the IRS and, this and that and the other thing. These things that just are persistent. They're always there. You know what I mean, Rock and Rio?
Mm-hmm.
They're like the mainstay. And then there's these branches that form off of these mainstays, The talk, goes round and round, seriously.
Right. Well, it's funny because even, we used to talk about MK Ultra and mind control, right? That's, nobody refers to it as MK anymore. They just, refer to it as, the program or the narrative now. Now it's become the narrative.
Yeah, the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative. There's a million stories in the Naked City, isn't there? I mean, you just make up the narrative, It's like people just see some shit and they just make up what they think it is. I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference between what something really is and somebody making up something about what it is? You know what I mean? Man, there's a whole thing about this. I mean, we could go into it at some point, maybe, but there's a whole thing about something, when something means what it means, and then there's where people make it mean something. In other words, it is what it is. It means what it means, but people take it and make it mean something else. It means something to you other than what it actually means.
Well, that's propaganda.
Well,
you get the book.
That's
get
the
Edward
current narrative.
Bernays. Yeah. Edward Bernays, the father of public relations. There you go. And Trump uses those words when talking about other world leaders. Their public relations is low IQ. He'll say things like that. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Well, it's a big world. There's a lot of viewpoints everywhere. And ultimately, I mean, I don't know. You walk down the street, you see a man, sitting there, some old man, and, he's just a crumpled up, right now it looks like a crumpled up old man to you. You know what I mean? But that dude lived like a whole life. He's got a whole thing going on inside of his head that you're not privy to, but you only get to see that, what's left over. That's what's left of him after, he lived some life. You know what I mean, Rockabilly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, every single person, in this world has exactly the same thing going on inside of them that you do. You know what I mean? There's nobody sitting around with nothing going on inside of them, you know? Just looking for some shit to fucking, some narrative to latch onto. You know what I mean? Just imagine it. I mean, if you walked up to somebody, like, hey, Sergeant Miller, if I walked up to you and I said, hey, man, hey, Sergeant Miller, here, you want to hear a narrative? You know, I'll start telling you some big, long, drawn-out story about some narrative. You know,
About the deep state.
Yeah, by the time I'm like 10 minutes into it, you forgot what I even asked you in the first place.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
go through it all the time. Yeah, don't mention the word flat Earth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, it never ends, man. That's the thing. Is at some point, you know, all of this has to add up to something. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like when you're sitting there, you look back and you think to yourself, you know, look, I researched all this and I learned this and I learned that and all this and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, what does it actually mean in the end? It's just, in the end, it was something that you did. You know, it was some way that you spent your time. It's some, but it doesn't have any necessarily any material value whatsoever as far as a structure or something you could point at. You know, it's thoughts in your head and words that you say that go out over the air. You know, the research that you do, your opinions, your thoughts about a subject matter. But it's just, because it's recorded, it's there. But if it wasn't being recorded, it's just, you're just making noises into the fucking atmosphere. And we've made those noises mean something because we define the noises that we make. And we say, when I make this noise, it means this. That's the primitive nature of our way that we communicate. We're just fucking making noises. And if you don't understand another language that somebody's talking, listen to it. What does it sound to you like? They're making noises.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because the French people, right? We as English speakers always think the French accent is weird. But French people say that English sounds like barking dogs to them. You know, so it is just noise, right? It's just some...
And then you take the noise that you make, okay, and you put some sort of inflection on it, or you put some sort of tonality to it, and you can make the word that you say or the noise that you make take on a whole new meaning for whoever's hearing the frequency of it.
Mm-hmm.
Making the vibration to another human being with your emotion behind it. Okay? It resonates.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, being conscious is not climbing the top of the mountain. It's being conscious of your actual power that you hold with the words that you say and how you say them.
Yeah, that's why they call the English language a bastard language, because it has no father. It's a mixture of different other languages.
Yeah, English is a lot of Latin, German, some French, some Spanish words.
The words admiral, you know, that's a word, you know, of high prestige in the Navy. That's an Arabic word. Even algorithm or algebra as Arabic words.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing. There's a thing, I don't know if you've heard of it. I mean, we could touch on it or whatever, but I mean, it goes deep, man. There's something that's called the phonetic Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Okay. And has to do with a code that exists in language, you know. It's called the language of the birds. And there's a book by a guy who nobody knew who he was. His name was Falconelli. And he wrote a book called Les Cathedrals, and it was about alchemic recipes that were built into all the framework of the cathedrals across Europe, including the stained glass and all the different paintings and all the things that were in each cathedral. They all contained specific secrets for turning lead into gold. So, the alchemical, transformation process. And now, with all this information that's now come out recently about some of these sites and what they actually are and what they were, makes Falconelli's work even more. As a matter of fact, you know what I should do? I should go to ChatGPT and have him take Falconelli's work, because no one ever figured it out. And Jay Weidner is big on Falconelli. I had a dude give me that book. It was the weirdest thing ever. I wasn't even friends with this guy, and I was just having a conversation with him. He handed me that book, and it was a white cover. Probably 40 years ago, 35 years ago. And I never read it. I never knew what it was until at one point I did. And then so on and so forth. But anyways, we could talk more about it when we come back. We got a break here. It's Revolution Radio. It's Ground Zero Plus. It is Into the Microcosm. Coming up on hour number 3. Number to call is 717-417-8284. Is that number? We're here with Sergeant Miller. We're just kicking it. Making noises that mean something.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, if you see if you've seen a silverback gorilla and he's beating on his chest and he's yelling, making noises, I mean, he's speaking a language. I mean, those silverback gorillas are mean, man. I mean, they're big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not hello.
No. No. All right, listen. We'll be right back.
Hello.
We'll be right back. Stand by. We're going to a break.
You know what I mean?
Call right back.
Yeah,
Clock strikes 12 and moon drops burst.
cult of the Blue Oysters. Alright. What the fuck? What? Man. I don't know what's going on. It is still going on. Are you there?
Yeah, here.
More of the same.
All right, we got Chris on the line, Jimmy.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Jimmy.
What's going on, man?
I'm streaming you live from my side of the pond. I don't think the relay from IBN is working right. So what I'll do is I'll send you another invite tomorrow.
All right.
And we'll get her fixed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
I'm streaming it live, and it's working right now. It's been working for the last 40 minutes.
All right. I just can't tell how it's even yet. So if I don't need to be on IBN, I can just click out of there. Are you broadcasting us from YouTube or IBN?
No, use IBM right now.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just can't tell how it sounds.
You can shut down your IBN if you want, because I'm coming right off of YouTube.
Oh yeah, if I could do that, that'd be good because that's the only place where this doesn't sound right.
Yeah, and I'm just piping it into our side of the fence.
All right, cool.
You got people down in Georgetown, Guyana, listening.
Hey, what's up?
Down there in South America. Got
What's
somebody in Perth, Australia, listening.
Wow.
Howdy, Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, they I think they won the soccer game today. I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't.
I didn't have a chance to even check.
Oh no, USA won. Yeah, USA won.
All right.
Yeah, hey man, thanks for being there for everyone. Because you know what,
we appreciate
talking about earlier about having a community to rely on and be there for you. That's a big deal. That's what got me into Ground Zero and Clyde and
Yeah.
you guys, right? You
Yeah,
guys
man.
are part of that. So
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it. I'll let you go and get another caller in here. So I'll talk to you later.
Right on. Thanks a lot for doing that, Chris. We appreciate it, man.
No problem, bro. All right, see ya.
See ya.
Swan boats and daisy chains. Can't seem to recall my true given name. I see my footprints, how they come, how they go. Was that yesterday or only a moment ago? My heart is gone. Gives way to a cold winter field, the ground below.
All right, now we're number 3 and number 6 over there. John B. Wells and George Honore is ahead of us. Go ahead.
We got Hijacker on the line.
Jacker. What's happening, man?
Yeah, great show, you guys.
Hey, thanks, Jacker. What's going on, brother?
Well, I got some probably the most important news or the most troubling news, so to speak, but I got to set the table first.
All right, then.
When this whole thing started in Iran, after about 30 days, at first I thought, okay, this is organic. Trump is a Zionist, a Zionist, so, okay, he's going to go along with the program. I knew what was going to happen because I heard Professor Mandavi. He basically said before the war, the West does not want to do this. America does not want to do it. He goes, I know what they got. I know how many tunnels they have. They've been building these rockets and missiles for like 40 years. And basically, he says, we're going to knock the shit out of you. And he says, frog, you jump. Well, we jumped, and we saw what happened. And after 30 days, I thought, okay, well, they know, 32% of the energy comes out of the Middle East. They knew about all the LNGP gas, the fertilizers, the helium, the zinc, all the other, there's like 48 different other materials or minerals that basically come out of that part of the country that affect all kinds of industries, like 54 different industries it affects. And so it went on for 60 days. Then I started thinking, and then I heard Ryan Berletic, although I had this thought independently, but he's over at the New Atlas, and he says you have to look at the world as it's all connected. Russia, China, United States, Pakistan, India, Iran, Israel. It's like one big web and all of these different cartels or these groups are basically, think of a mafia family. They're like gang families. And the two dominant one, which are the Han or Han Chinese, and then, of course, the Zionist West. And they're the big ones, and they're the ones really fighting for it. And he goes, everything what's happening, they mean to shut the Middle East down. Because if they cripple the Middle East, nothing gets out. I'm not talking about just Iran. They want to shut the whole thing down. This is his theory, Brian Berletic. They want the whole Middle East shut down, crippled. That ultimately, that will be a crippling blow to the Chinese, in which they need. I mean, they can pull a lot of energy from Russia, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff they need for production and manufacturing. So now I'm thinking, well, they mean to do it. By 90 days, I knew that they meant to do it, and there was not going to be any peace. And so now we're at the final cycle in which now I'm really getting scared, because this is the first time in my life, and I think actually in the history of the life of Israel since 1948, has Israel been this backed into a corner and this trapped. For instance, there's a poll that came out that 97% of the people asked, and I think the poll was in almost 100% of the countries. They did a worldwide poll in which they actually took, I don't know if it was a telephone poll or how they did it, but they said, which group or which country is causing the most problems on the earth right now? 97% of the people responded it was Israel. And I'm taking, and in fact, you had the President of the United States even tell publicly the Israelis, everybody hates you. And nobody likes you. We all hate you. Of course, the fact is, I mean, all the things with Gaza and the children and all that type of thing. But that's the fact, is that they literally, in fact, Vance came on today and says, we're your only friend left. We're the number one superpower, and we're your only friend. In fact, I saw where Alex Jones did an interview with Mario. He's a Lebanese guy that does like an all-day format of the top 10 political godmen to do the analysis, or the economic godmen to do analysis of where the world's at, or like on an hourly basis. And it was Alex came on. They did a clip during Crowder's hour or something. I don't know. I never listened to him or Fortes or any of these other people, but he was like a real hardcore Zionist, and I could recognize him because I used to be just like that. My head used to be full of that Zionist pus. I mean, I had it bad, so I recognized my own, right? And so this guy was on this show, and he was basically saying, Israel, what are you doing? You know, your number one defense intelligence agency director has now come out and said, for every Israeli woman that sheds a tear for losing a child, like, soldier. We're going to make 1,000 Lebanese women cry, 1,000 to 1. And then he went on to say, we're going to incinerate from top to bottom all of Lebanon. We're going to completely reduce it to rubble and basically give it the Gaza treatment. I mean, talk about like monsters, right? I mean, it's so.
Man, Jacka, you're very strong-winded, Jacka. It sounds like you used to do a show and you need to get back to doing your own show.
Yeah, well, I think this might be my last card from what I'm about to tell you. So, anyways, I've gained it out.
Let me say this. Happy Father's Day to you, Jacka.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the world that's really in their child's life. You're gonna be needed. You see what I'm saying? As a father, to pass that baton to your offspring. So I just wanted to get that out the way. And it's nothing but peace and love with me and you, Jacka. I'm military minded. So my words, two things is gonna do. You're either gonna hate me or it's gonna motivate you. That's how I train my soldiers, and that's how I operate. So I'm just trying to motivate you to stay in the game. You do have friends. You do have people that care about you. And
Yeah,
I just
Jack.
want to see you back in this world, speaking your mind just like you spoke.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, with people like me and you, we don't do the personal. So it's never personal between people like us. It just doesn't, it's like water off the back. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't take anything personal. So I never get upset or end up hating anybody. But, yeah, no, I hear you. But it's what I'm getting ready to tell you is that we're coming down to a closing end. And one of the things that has got me really concerned is I'm taking a look and I'm seeing that Israel really does have its back against the wall. And now with this split with Trump and also Vance, now it could be a show, but the fact of the
It's
matter
a
is
show,
that
dude.
the Israelis cannot let the Iranians become basically a regional superpower.
But they don't have they can't tell nobody what to do in this international world. They can't do that because the United States is an infant compared to true world history. You're talking about Iran. You're talking about Persia. You want to bring up Xerxes. You want to bring up the Spartans. You want to bring up, man, it's so much history that Russia and China, which China used to be Manchuria, they speak Mandarin. You're going to the Great Wall. You're going to Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, the Yellow Emperor. It's how can they tell anybody what to do when their whole history is about destruction and colonization? They can't even.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why, because I'm like them. I'm a megalomaniac. Anybody that's heard my show knows. At least I'm a good megalomaniac, but still, I got the touch. I got megalomania. So I know how these people think, except they're the evil megalomaniacs. So I'm going to tell you how they're going to be able to stay in power. They're down to the 2 or 3 last big plays. And the way I've gamed it out, and I had this thinking probably over a month ago, they're going to do another 911. It's going to be 100 or 1,000 times worse. In fact, Jones came on here, and he's worried about it too. But the fact of the matter is they do have a play. And when I saw the clip, and it was Richie from Boston, I don't normally listen to him, but I caught a clip or two of his. And he showed video. Somehow he got this video. In fact, you may want to go ahead and check it out and find it. But like 8-10 guys, a whole group of these guys, they pulled up at like 3 o'clock in the morning 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on a street in a borough of New York. Open up the sewer lid. They put on waders, like, fishermen waders, and then they put on mask, like gas mask. And all 10 of them went down in the sewer for like over an hour. And then at another part of New York, and supposedly it was in the Jewish section, another 8-10 people were filmed off a door cam, or somebody from an apartment window had filmed the same thing. And so there's crews of 8 and 10 guys going down actually into the sewers. Now, nobody knows why they went down, but as I took a look at that, I'm thinking, what am I looking at here? Who goes down in the middle of a sewer? It's 8-10 strong in the middle of the night, where they just actually cordon off the road. They block it off, and they're not. They have nothing to do with like utilities or sewer. There's no emblems or anything.
Yeah, did you
else.
see the other story about the 11 girls that came up out of the sewer? The Jewish schoolgirls?
No.
You should do a search on it. Do a search on it. There's video of it. They come up out of the sewer. And then
Were they dressed?
Yeah, they're clean, everything. They look like they just came, from school. And then a couple weeks ago, check this out. A couple weeks ago, check this out. Someone got out of a taxi cab, and the lid was off one of those. And they fell down and killed themselves into the manhole because they stepped out of the cab and it wasn't there, and they fell in. So something's going on over there. Something's going on over there underground for sure. What's going on over there?
Well, so I'm thinking. So I'm gaming out what the Israelis got left. They've got the whole world against them. It's never been happened before, not in my lifetime, or some tail end of a baby boomer. So I was thoroughly infected with Christian Zionism. But the younger people are not. Like my children, for whatever, they don't know what all this fuss is about, why you have a right to own a land and you're God's chosen people. It's all like gibberish to them. None of it makes any sense to them. But the whole world is like that. Everybody now is basically Jew-wise. And so now they are trapped. And I'm thinking, what would they do to try to get back? And then the other big factor that's coming that we now know, and that is the knowledge of the world, because of the internet, has now gone literally like a virus. It's viral. Everybody knows all of the conspiracy theories. Everybody knows pretty much about the deep state, who's running it, the Illuminati, who killed JFK, on and on and on.
The deep state. The deep state.
Right. And so I'm thinking, what would they have to do? And I'm thinking like a megalomaniac, right? What would they have to do in order to hold their pole position, hold that key position? Which, by the way, there was a poll done in Israel. 78% of the Israelis said that it's Israel and the Jews that are in control of the world. You can't make this up. Look it up. Look at a poll that who controls the world in Israel.
Okay.
Anyways, the fact of the matter is that they got that position, and so what are they going to do to hold it? And then I'm thinking, and then I started researching. I'm realizing, you know what? The Jews have been moving out of New York like in droves. Now people want to blame it on Morandi or whatever, the socialist Muslim, but no, they've been doing this for a while. All these major companies are moving out, and I'm thinking, and then I came up with like 15 reasons of why they're done with New York City.
All right, well, before you do that, here, I got a video here. And this is, I mentioned earlier about there was a moment in the alternative media with the Kanye West visit to the Alex Jones show. And here's a story where Kanye West held a private meeting with a prominent New York rabbi in which he said he was taking accountability for his anti-Semitic tirades, which he blamed on his bipolar disorder. The rapper, who has legally changed his name to Ye, expressed profound remorse for his past comments about the Jewish people and sought forgiveness for them, according to Rabbi Yashayahu Yosef Pinto. Here's a video of the meeting.
To be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said, and I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
He said in Yandut, the rabbi said the Judaism. The Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it. And the rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing, and from now on, strong things and good things, and only good. You are a very good man.
Amen. That's the best, man.
All right, there he goes, Kanye West and the rabbi. So,
yeah, well, he was talking to the Lubavitchers, and that's to the heart of what I'm getting ready to say.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a small group. It's not going to be a big group. It's not going to be that everybody that's anybody within the deep state is going to know about this operation. It's going to be a very small group that actually have access to the weapons, which can basically put basically an end to New York City. They're done with it. It's an old, obsolete city. They're done with the UN. They don't even need Wall Street anymore. Everything is digital. You had the Dialogue Society with 222 of the top names, which, by the way, that adds up.
They moved the stock exchange. They moved the stock exchange to Texas. They got a stock exchange in Texas now, right, Rio? Didn't they move a whole?
It's all digital now. I think they're going to go 24/7 on the stock market.
So, no, they will, yeah, for sure.
So they don't need that. It's an old, cursed city. It doesn't need it. It's a big, giant welfare state, and so you can see that if they took down New York City, number one, the world would weep that literally hundreds of thousands of the tribal people, it would be a second Holocaust for them. But that's what everybody would think, unless they got the heads up like they got on 9/11, where 4,000 of the people of the tribe didn't show up for work. But so that would be the sympathy of the world. They get that back, maybe. But the big thing is is that the whole thing that's happening with decoupling or shutting down the straits and messing up the whole world economy, because most are saying now it's going to be a severe recession we're going into, and if it doesn't stop within like 30 days, I think Trump said this, we're going into a worldwide global depression. This would cover that up.
Seven 417-8284 is the number to call.
Listen, I got a request, Jimmy Jean, and you're going to love this one because you haven't heard this song. I'll bet you haven't heard this song in 30 years. This is going to bring back a memory like you never had before.
Lay it on
Are
me.
you ready?
Yeah.
The artist is called Link Ray,
Yeah.
and the song is Rumble.
Oh,
And this
yeah.
was back in the 1960s.
This
they
wasn't this.
wouldn't play it on the radio.
Yeah, it was forbidden.
Because they said it would upset too many people.
Yeah, it was
But
forbidden.
this was like the first heavy metal song ever. And I think it was actually in the 1950s. But if you can pull up Link Ray, I think it's
Yeah, it's W.
W-R-A-Y something.
Yeah.
And the song is called Rumble.
Yeah, I know it.
Play that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, have you heard that one
Of
soon
course.
lately?
Not lately, but yeah, I know the song, man. You're 100% correct, Amundo, my friend. All right, listen. You've been here for 29 minutes. Anything else before we take some? Do we got more calls coming in, Rio?
No. Yeah.
What's going
I'll
on?
go. Yeah. Just to give everybody the heads up, I'm thinking that if they're going to do this last desperate play to try to
Can't
keep
stop.
the position,
It won't
as
stop.
basically controllers, it would be done in August. I'm thinking somewhere in August, maybe during the Santanic Festival of Fire or the Festival of Lammas, August. I think that's August 1st through the 3rd. And then there's another Santanic High Holy Calendar date, August 24th, Festival of Fire. But if they're going to do it, that's when they're going to do it and try to get back control of the world. And it'll do a lot of things. It'll take us in the martial law, worldwide depression.
Fuck. I think that's live at Winterland, 1974. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, but
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, the song.
I don't think there's any
The song
just.
gets better. There's
No,
it's
I know.
It's all guitar and bass.
Yeah, they use that on Pulp Fiction.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
maybe they even went and got him to record it again. He was still alive at that point. I'm not sure. All right,
Yeah.
well, God bless you. God bless you, hijacker,
Jimmy, I
man.
just thought I'd
Yeah.
give everybody the heads up that the Israelis are trapped, and so
All right,
we're
all right,
in a
okay,
very
all right.
dangerous
Yeah.
point. Hopefully,
We know,
we'll
they're
see
trapped.
Our way, hopefully, we'll
Okay.
see our way through this thing.
All
but,
right. Let's move on now.
hijacker,
All
over
right.
now.
Okay, hijacker. We'll see you later.
Now you see why I told him stick to doing your show.
The thing
You
is,
got a
man,
lot to say.
I've literally just reached this point where I just can't take listening to another fucking syllable of it all. You know, I mean, we've been doing this shit a super long time. And I mean, this shit just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah. But
So, I mean, I can
you had a point. You had a point, you know, with the Kanye West. That you know, I mean, I'm in that world because I'm an engineer and producer.
Uh-huh.
And you know, the law of frequency. You know how music dominates the world. You know, it controls our attitudes. It controls either you're gonna be peaceful or you is gonna be carnage. You know, with different types of music. So that's why I know that that's very important to you, Jimmy. You know, especially with your show. Play great music, great DJ, and just a good vibe. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we try to, you know, I don't know. I you know, it's just gotten to a level, you know, and maybe it's because at this point, you know, we've been through so much through, you know, everything that's gone on since 2006 till now, you know, realistically. I mean, obviously it started in 2001, but I mean, really the last 20 years, I mean, things have changed quite a bit. You know, we've been here that whole time. Haven't we, Rio?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, you know, we've been here every Friday night, and at one point we were here Monday through Friday. You know, and every single show there was something going on. There was subject matter, whether it was researched material or, you know, when the Michelle Pfeiffer incident happened, that's when this show transformed itself from what it was, which was talking about subjects that are evergreen, not necessarily based around what's going on in the news. But when the Michelle Pfeiffer incident happened, we started focusing on what was happening today, or you know, what's going on this week, and this and that and the other thing. And so then we became tied into this news cycle discussion. And, you know, that discussion has been going on now for years and years and years and years. Like, when I look back to the Michelle Pfeiffer incident, I can't believe it was so long ago. In other words, it was a long time ago, but it doesn't seem like that long ago. It doesn't seem like as long ago as it was. But it was it was really a long fucking time ago. In modern time frames. I mean, all the stuff that
you can't forget what you learned. You can't forget what you learned from watching that pattern of how they use how they use words and our voice, you know, to control the masses. You know, the Pied Piper.
I don't know. I just think, I mean, something seems like it happened to time itself. You know, and it's, you know, for me, I'll just say, you know, I'll talk from a personal aspect of it. What I've noticed personally, you know, as I go through my day to day, I've noticed that at times it seems like time is going by super fast. Like shit's going by, you know, fast. And other times, like today I noticed it, when I was at some stoplights, these stoplights were taking forever. Like an extreme amount of time. To where I'm sitting there and I'm wondering if it's even going to change at that point. You know what I mean? So you know, I don't.
Timeline.
Something seems off to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I like to think about timelines and how our actions affect, you know, our future, because you know, you're talking about what we've been through. Well, look at the WEF. You remember the words, you will own nothing and you will be happy. You know.
Yeah.
You know how far we got passed through that together, right? Just by talking about it and our energy towards it. You know, the resistance. So, yeah, I do believe in timelines, you know.
Well, it would appear, I mean, it appears to me that 2030 is where things have to be all set up and in place for everybody. So between now and 2030, This is where all the major changes are going to happen. Like the Great Leap Forward that they had in China. It's going to be a great leap forward to 2030. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this story. Now, you've heard everybody saying, well, these cars are going to be, they're going to be looking at you, they're going to be listening to you, they're going to be sending your information out, so on and so forth, right? And so they're saying that these are new cars coming up in 2027 and beyond, right? That's what they're saying. Well, somebody bought a 2026, and there's a story about a woman who was driving down the highway and her car just stopped by itself because it couldn't see her eyes. Can you believe that? So now your car is going to be watching your eyes to make
sure that you're in condition to drive. Yeah, that's 2027 cars are all going to have facial ID cameras in them.
Mm-hmm.
AI powered. I think we talked about it a little bit, but it's going to be great until somebody who actually needs to drive and is a little too stressed, according to the AI, ends up dead.
Listen, I had an experience last winter with my car, and so I have a sunroof in my car, and so the drain in my sunroof apparently was clogged because I didn't do sunroof drain maintenance. I don't know if you knew you were supposed to do that. But, yeah, you got to do sunroof drain maintenance. And if you don't, what happens is the bitch backs up and comes on the inside of your fucking car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this happened to me last winter, where all of a sudden I looked and there was, water was coming in. All right, and I was like, fuck, So I started my car and I took off. I started heading to work. And as I was about to get on the freeway, my car freaked out electronically. Started blinking and flashing and shit, and fucking it was like out of my control because my car has this this shit for driving, lanes and all this other shit, bunch of computer shit in there. But I was sitting there and my car was dead on the entrance to the freeway where fucking cars are speeding up to get on the freeway. I'm sitting there in the middle of the road. So now I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to unlock my door and get the fuck out at this point because the electronics failed. Maybe my door locks ain't going to work. When it happened, I came to this realization about these computer controlled cars. You're fucked. If your car all of a sudden decides to do something, or it just decides to do part of what it's got programmed in it that it can do, like it just shut this lady's car down in the middle of the highway. Because it couldn't see her eyes. Think about these electric cars, man. How the fuck do you get out when that Tesla catches on fire? How do you unlock the doors, man?
Well, that's the problem.
You better start carrying a fucking sledgehammer in your car or truck, man, in case you got to get out. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. You just keep a hammer on the floor in the fucking driver's side. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. I don't know if you've had any experience. Like, I had this lane thing on my car. I didn't buy it because it had the lane thing on there, but it just happened to be on there. And when I first bought it, I wasn't really schooled on what was going on, all the different shit in my car, so I'm just driving down the road minding my own business. And all of a sudden, my car starts steering me back into the lane. When I got too close to the white line, just steering me back by itself. You know what I mean? I mean, realistically, how hard do you think it would be if somebody wanted to fucking hack your car and make it floor into the tree like that dude in the Mercedes? Seriously, if you got this shit inside of your car, Rocket Rio, what year car is the cutoff if you just want it to be no computers at all? Just what year?
No computers at all?
Yeah, 79.
Yeah, somewhere in 70s, late 70s, early 80s.
And that same kind of vehicle, if you had the battery unplugged and there was an electromagnetic pulse, that car would start if you just hooked the battery up at that point, wouldn't it?
Yeah, with a few exceptions. I mean, there are cars that had electronic ignitions in that period. certain Chryslers had those electronic ignition boxes. Like,
Now-
even as early as the
Did you-
68, 69.
Did you guys hear? No, I didn't look into this, but when I heard it, it resonated as it could just, if it's true, it wouldn't surprise me. And that is two of the biggest junkyards that there are for parts for cars are on fire. Did you hear about that, Rock and Rio? There's two giant junkyards in America. I don't know what they're called, but they said
Yeah.
they were both on fire. Did you hear about it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so they don't. They just tried to pass a law that you can't work on your own car. And Trump said no. I guess apparently, I'm not sure what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
that was Ford and GM.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because I'm a country boy. I like changing my own oil, changing my brakes, spark plugs. But I like troubleshooting because you're learning. You're learning to do it for yourself, which saves you money. And I think that's part of the agenda too. Independence.
Well, now I bet you could hook AI up onto that bitch. Put a fucking cable on there. Put your phone, and it'll diagnose your car. Tell you what's wrong with it. I mean, I wouldn't
They
even.
have app for that.
I wouldn't even. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt that. But you need somebody to actually turn the screws and bust the nuts, right, Rock and Rio?
Mhm.
You can't just do that with robots. They can't just crawl up under there. Get their hand up in there behind the fucking alternator to get that nasty screw in there with the fuck, I mean, it's. You think robots are going to be able to do work on old cars, Rock and Rio? No. New cars will be built by robots, and so when they get worked on, robots will be able to work on the car.
Well, I don't know. It's at some point, I'm sure the technology will get there with the figure. But I think I have some longevity for a while.
Oh, you do, yeah.
Mhm.
You do.
You got your job is secured.
That's why
at
they're
least for a bit. I mean, if you're working in a call center, you got problems right now. But to be able to automate what I do, it's going to take them a little more time, I think. Maybe not that long, but a little bit more.
Well, after 2030, nobody will be driving classic cars anymore. They're already trying to pass a law. They tried to pass some weird law in California about it. 717-417-8284.
The mountain is high, the valley is low, and you're confused on which way to go. So I've come here to give you a hand and lead you into the promised land. So come on and take a free ride. Come on and sit here by my side. Come on and take a free ride.
Edgar Winter. Albino. Hi, my name is Edgar Winter, albino rocker, Edgar Winter. There he goes. Did he have pink eyes, Rock and Rio?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he walked around with glasses on all the time. He played at the club a couple times. We had to spray paint the front of the stage with this fluorescent orange paint. The edge of the stage, the front edge.
Mm-hmm.
We had to spray paint it fluorescent orange so he wouldn't fall off the edge. The edge is near. Don't fall over the edge. Stay back. Back away from the edge, Rock and Rio. I can see. Man, I can't keep track of all this stuff on here. These windows. It's beyond my ability. There we go.
You need a secretary.
No, I need a AI agent to just sit here.
Don't worry, it's coming.
No, I had that. Man, I put an AI agent together like a year ago or so. I did this whole thing, man. I started to get into it, and it got to this point where I just had enough already. You know, now it's to the point where enough time has gone by, I could create an AI agent to create my AI agent, and then I wouldn't even have to deal with it. But you know, dealing with these tactics, with these large language models, these round tactics that they use to frustrate your creativity and your inspiration from your imagination, and put you in these circles where they fucking keep saying the same shit over and over again, and to the point where you just can't take it anymore. And then we discovered that was an actual technique that they utilize for whatever reason. Can't imagine why it would have been fucking with me with what I was asking it, but it was just going round and round and round, man. And the thing is when you know, like Rock and Rio, you asked it about your health, you know, and it came clean and gave you an answer, you know.
It tried, you know. Thankfully, it gave me the wrong answer, because the right answer would have been much worse.
Yeah, well, that was good that it was wrong. But see, it's not infallible. That's what I mean. It's a whole conversation, man. I mean, I'd like to go back to it because I can't even remember all the different tactics that got exposed with my looking into this escalation to red level 5 thing. You know? I don't know. It's all too much, Rock and Roll. 717-417-8284. Give us a call.
Just smoke your joint, Jimmy. You'll be all right.
Nah, man, I can't smoke enough weed to make it go away, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The thing is, man, honestly, you know, and everyone knows this to be the truth. The truth is that if you turn this shit off, if you turned off all this, if you turned off YouTube, you turned off the TV, you turn off, I will for sure. Oh yeah, I will for sure. If you turned all this off, most of the noise, you know, going on inside of you would be gone. Because, I mean, this is a lot of noise. And it keeps people in a perpetual state of not being able to move out of a rut. Because just when you find out that this June 16th wasn't the end of the world, you just find out that, you know, there's another date coming up a month from now that you got to start worrying about, preparing for, so on and so forth. And so, you know, I do technical work, you know, and I use tools, hand tools, so on and so forth, this and that. And I'm always in situations. And I shit you not, my tool bag, it weighs about 100 pounds. And it's fucked to have to move that thing around all the time. But I do. You know why? Because I fucking hate getting somewhere and not having what I need. And here's the kicker, though. I'm going to give you the fucking kicker and the clue and the key to everything. It doesn't matter how much fucking shit I put in that bag, how much it weighs, and how much I carry it. Because there's always going to come a time as soon as I'm going to need something and I won't have what I need in there. And it could be the smallest fucking thing that there is. But it's the only thing that you can use in that moment to solve a situation, and it ain't there. The only thing you have to rely on is what you have inside of your head. You're never going to be prepared for what's going to fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, there'll be one thing that you didn't do. That might be the whole fucking key to everything. And you didn't know that you didn't do it, because until the situation happened, you didn't know you needed it.
Yeah, that's the philosophy of problem solving. You solve one problem only to open the door to another problem.
Yeah. That's the truth, though. It's, you know, there are benefits to the technology, but there's a lot of downsides. You know, and it's scary, kind of the changes that's going to go on.
Yeah, it's like today, when I went to the music store, got this board.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I would just go there and buy it and take off, you know, because they have a good reputation or whatever. It's a used music store. But today, just to make sure that nothing was going to fuck up, when I went home and find out, I tested it.
Yeah, you had it tested right there in the store.
Yeah.
Made sure everything was good.
Right. Except I didn't test it with my Mac
Mm-hmm.
on the USB cable. So see, I did everything I could to avoid disaster, but it didn't matter. Because I didn't know that it wasn't going to be just plug it in and have it work like every other thing. You know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't, I'm just saying from a troubleshooting perspective, if everything was working and all I did was unplug a cable and plug a new cable in, then everything should still be working over here. The only thing that's different is over there, where it's coming into this computer. And that was the breakdown, because there was no physical connection. It was all software issue, which is, you know, how could I have known? I couldn't have. So I did my best. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Rock and Rio? Nothing, right?
Not much you can do.
There isn't. That's what I'm saying. If whatever you're carrying inside of your head, that's what you got. And so you got to rely on that if a situation arises. It's like an end of the world scenario, or there's a disaster or something fucking happens. You know, you got, you know, the more you learn and that you carry inside of you, the better off you are, you know. And if not, you just get one of those giant hard drive things where you can keep all this information on there. It'll still work.
You know, it's funny. I have this collection of books that some of them were my father's, but you know, they're Audubon books on identifying plants and edibles and things like that.
Uh-huh.
There's also a set of books. They're probably from, I don't know, the 40s or the 50s, but they're called Firefox. And, you know, they have like all the essentials, like how to grow things, how to purify water, 10 different ways to start a fire, even if it's wet out, you know, like all the things you would need to know for survival.
Yeah, man.
Like out in the woods, how to keep warm, how to build a shelter, how to, you know, and, you know, that's a great reference to have. And it's paper, right? It's printed on actual books. So when the grid goes down and the lights go out, you could still read.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said too, man, check that book out, Back to Eden. I would highly recommend having a copy of that and a road atlas of the United States, like truckers use. You know, the paper kind. That shows all the roads, man, all the back roads. Shows everything. Alright. Who knows? Don't stress out. Keep your cortisol levels low.
That's right.
Don't want to activate the hives or the shingles, dude. You know what I'm saying? the stress activates the shingles.
Well, it's I
It
don't
is.
think it was necessarily a stress. Like, I'm not a very stressed guy.
No, I'm just saying, but stress will activate it now that you have it. So you got to keep the stress down to the minimum.
Yeah, I do. I generally do.
All right, Oya, will destroy ya. Here you go, man. All right, it's time for us to GTFO, man. We'll see you guys later at Revolution Radio. See you tomorrow night at Ground Zero Plus, 8 o'clock Pacific, right here on YouTube.
Good night, everybody.